Go away. You go away. Let me already go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to SV Blown Away. And in this week's episode, some sailing but also boat maintenance, just like every other week. Because I've been sitting at anchor waiting for some parts to arrive for the water maker. So it's time to do less swimming and sunbathing and more maintenance. And for those of you that have not been here before, my name is Ian. I work, live and play on the ocean and invite you along for the journey. And the people that you see in this intro have all joined the crew during the summer months. If you're interested in jumping on board Blown Away, helping out with maintenance and doing some sailing, please drop me a line in the comments down below. I've had to take the whole thing to pieces to get to the two serviceable items. The filter housing and the pump. Those are the two serviceable things. The pump's sandwiched in the middle. You can't get to it. I have literally had to take the whole thing out of the frame. It's just crazy. It was supposed to be easy. It was supposed to be an easy job. But before I get stuck into the water maker repairs, I'm going to move the boat to another anchorage. It's getting quite busy here. The island is on fire and I want to be somewhere peaceful. And with a wind forecast of 12 to 15 knots coming from my starboard quarter, I'm on a broad reach for most of the morning. In the afternoon, the wind is due to veer more behind me and will leave me running downwind. And then late into the evening, the wind is due to drop, by which time I should be at my next anchorage. So here is a little bit of gratuitous sailing on different points of sail. And running close to dead downwind using the mainsail, I tend to rig the preventer. This will prevent the boom from swinging across the boat during an accidental jibe. For me, the preventer is fairly simple. It's a line attached towards the end of the boom that runs forward to a block and then back to my winches. It means I can control it from the cockpit. This means if I need to go forwards towards the base of the mast for any purpose, I can do so safely with no danger of the boom knocking me overboard. And the wind in the forecast, and the wind was exactly as forecast. In the afternoon it dropped away to leave me with very light airs and drifting. But as I was reaching for the key to start the engine, I noticed dolphins and couldn't resist just drifting along slowly, watching these magnificent creatures as they breached on the surface. And after a glorious day of sailing, I visit from dolphins, it's time to take a dip. And it's great to get away from the crowds. I was joined by one other boat in the evening. It was peaceful. No generators, no helicopters, no engine noise. Just the waves lapping against the hull and the sound of birds flying around the boat. And with no agenda, nowhere to be, and no time schedules, I stayed in this anchorage for 2 or 3 days, just relaxing, feet up, doing some videos, enjoying life. I'm feeling refreshed. Time to do some more maintenance. Finally, I have got the high pressure pump for my water maker. Currently I am working on the water maker. I had the high pressure unit rebuilt back in spring, and now the pump has failed. I think in hindsight what I should have done was replace both units at the same time. So I've ended up sort of doing the job twice almost. So the membrane was replaced and serviced. The high pressure pump has now failed and is not pushing water through the membrane, so I'm not making fresh water. And the reason I have a water maker is it gives me freedom. I don't have to be in on a town dock. I can stay on anchor pretty much as long as I need. I can use the dinghy to go in and get food and other supplies, and it's just, for me, being on anchor is just much nicer. I love being out on anchor, I really do. So yeah, let's get stuck into fitting the water maker pump. So one component of the water maker, which is the membrane, lives, twist the camera, lives back there behind the seats. Relatively easy to get to remove, etc. It just slides out from there. It's only held in with a couple of screws. It is only a small water maker, it's not a big one, 30 litre. Based around the fact that I would run it daily for at least an hour, so I use about 30 litres per day. That's with 2 people on board the boat. So now solo, I don't need to run it quite so often, but because I've had a problem with the high pressure pump, the water maker has not been run in a while. I'm worried about the membrane getting damaged because I had all that rebuilt in April and May, I think it was. So my intention now that I've got the high pressure pump is to replace that pressure pump and get the water maker working. So with no further ado, let's get stuck into the job. You would not believe how much these pumps cost. I need to figure out who. Pent Air Shore Flow. There she is. Okay, let's take a look online at how much a Pent Air Shore Flow is, because this was incredibly expensive. It looks exactly the same as my fridge pump, which I paid about €100 for. And that, people, is why I have trust issues with marine suppliers. The pump to me was over €500. Online, £132. So in future, I will not be buying components directly from Schenker for my water maker. Clearly they have to make a profit, I get that. But this pump is 4 times more expensive from Schenker than it is from the pump manufacturer retailing through somebody else's website. Pump lives in the engine room and is that unit just there. And the only reason I didn't go elsewhere for this pump at the beginning is that the unit on that water maker has cooling fins on it. Now the cooling fins completely cover the name and manufacturer of the pump. I tried to source it online but was unable to find the supplier. So I'm wondering if it's easier just to lift the whole thing out, because it's held in on these brackets. So I can undo the brackets, lift the whole unit out and do it up here. Because I don't think I can do it there. I think the whole thing needs to come out, just a bit of a pain. So with a plan of attack in mind, it's time to get some tools from the workshop. I have turned off the isolator switch. There is no way this engine can start, and I cannot short anything out. And yes, that cord is attached to my ratchet because my bilge is 2 meters deep. Anything I drop down there is not coming back. Use the ratchet to plug the things. Okay, that's the frame undone, allegedly. What are the chances of this lifting out like it was supposed to when it was designed? A little backstory on the water maker. It was installed by professionals in southern Spain. Unfortunately for me, the minute I fired it up, it blew a hose off. When the hose got double clipped, it split the hose because they used the wrong type. All of the fittings for the pre-filters were plastic and nasty and underwater, so I made them replace them with metal fittings. They were asked to fit this tray so that it was removable for maintenance. Oh, it's got heavy. That's a lot heavier than I thought it was going to be. Shit. Okay. Fuck. Oh, no, I've got a problem. The moral to this story, and like many other stories, is don't trust a contractor. If you've got somebody else doing a job on the boat, stand there and watch them do it. This is why I don't like doing this sort of work on anchor. There's no sitting on top of the starter motor cable. Okay. I need a line or something to put around this to tie in. I can't grip it, it's sliding out of my hands. It won't go to the bloody frames now. Okay. Oh boys, what did you do to me? This is supposed to lift out. I paid for this to be removable. It doesn't go out between the frames. Wow. Uh-oh, I sense his frustration. I suspect Ian's about to spit his dummy out. Maybe we should turn the music up. This is too wide. Look at it, it sits in there on its own weight. This is what happens when you pay other people to do something. It's like, okay, let's have it in there so it's on a lift out frame. Bring it all out in one piece. Leave the hoses nice and long, lots of spare cable so I can lift it out. I hate giving jobs out to other contractors and stuff. I've had so much trouble with contractors. Give them simple instruction. Okay, let's do it this way. Okay, yeah, no, we can do it. Yeah, we can do it. Piece of cake, mate. How much? Oh, it'll be this. Oh, fucking hell, that's a lot of money, but hey, don't worry. It's worth it because they'll do it properly, right? Absolutely bloody cool. I can pull. the cables aren't long enough for me to get it out of the engine room properly, so not sure what I'm going to do with this. I don't want to work on it directly above the engine room, because anything I drop is gone forever. And having only recently made this saloon floor, I'm pretty anal not to scratch it with this water maker. Pump I need to get at is that one just there. So I'll get my rope off there. Just slides off and voila. So I need to get these cables off here. So it goes in through that watertight gland, comes through here. Black is that one, red is that one, which is connected into the fan. Okay, no big deal. I'm going to crimp some terminals on, but yeah. I had to take the whole thing to pieces to get to the two serviceable items: the filter housing and the pump. Those are the two serviceable things. The pump's sandwiched in the middle. You can't get to it. I have literally had to take the whole thing out of the frame. It's just crazy. It was supposed to be easy. It was supposed to be an easy job. Tight is tight, too tight is broken. That's what I was always told. Probably true. So far, so good. The new pump is installed back there. Accumulator's back on, filters changed and back on, plumbing's back together. I have to do the wiring, which could be a pain because they put 3 wires into one terminal, and I don't know if I have a connector that size. Soon figure that out. Access is not easy. In general, access is not easy. This has not been very well designed in my head. Like, yeah, it could have been done better. But hey, we soldier on. Let's get it in the right order. That piece, then that piece, and that slots through there. Okay, like that. My extension piece is going to go the same route. So through the cap, through the rubber grommet, through the cable gland. Come on, there you go. Okay, so that is the fan, just there. So they put 3 cables into this. I don't have any of those, but I do have this, but it is too big. I do have a smaller version, which is this, which might work if I cut the pieces off of it. I wonder if I can get that to work. It can't bridge between the others, is the trouble. Okay, 1, 2, 3 cables in there, just how it was from the factory. Don't take me apart on this, people. I don't like it. That's a rubber seal. Okay, let's do that one up. Okay, looks good. It's different, so it goes around. Goes around that way. Quarter turn, quarter turn, quarter turn, quarter turn. That box is now locked. Tied it off in the right place. That's actually quite good. Okay, see if I can get bolting. Is it that one? Could be. Yeah, maybe. That's tight. That is very tight. Let's get this nut on quickly. There's quite a bit of pressure comes out of these hoses, so these 2 Jubilee clips are really, really important, because I have had, when this was put together, I have had the hose clips come off because they only could use one, and then I had the hose split because the installation crew used the wrong hose. It wasn't strong enough for the pressure created from this pump. Let's see how much further I can do that with a socket. So much better than just doing it with a screwdriver. It's so important that these are done up tight. That is us making water once again. Thank goodness for that. So which half of the video did you prefer? The sailing half or the fixing it half? Let me know in the comments down below. Well, that's the end of this video, and time for the credits. This is the supporter section, the bit where I get to say thank you to everyone who supported the making of the videos. So the McKenna family, David Luchford, Sailing with Andy Grimm LV from Kofi, thank you so much. And if you found the video mildly amusing, entertaining, and would like to send a coffee in my general direction, this is the way to do so. Scan the QR code and it will take you directly to a website called Kofi, where you can make a small donation. Not too big on social media, but we are on Facebook. And a big shout out to the Patreon supporters: Matt, Michael, Ian, Miles, Timmy, Johannes, Jim Bracken and JG. Thank you so much for your monthly support, it is greatly appreciated. And if you are looking for the ideal Christmas present for a spouse or a partner, look no further. Blown Away polo shirt on offer now. Contact me. And as you've seen in the advert, we are currently being supported by Apex Trade and Deck Tent. If you'd like some of their products, take a look at the link in the comments down below and mention Blown Away for a 10% discount. Thanks for watching, hope to see you again soon.